Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. I'm Miss Nohal Ahmad. I'm teaching biology for grade 11, term 3 of the year 2019-2020. We started to learn together about the Human Genome Project. We knew how we are sequencing the DNA, how we are keeping the database, and how we are locating the genes using open reading frame. Now we want to know how to use the database or the saved sequence of DNA in bioinformatics. First of all, bioinformatics, it involves the creating of database that related to a certain biological information. In bioinformatics, we are using biology and information. Biology, which is related to the sequence of DNA, information or informatics, we are using computers that analyze the database and give the researchers a chance to prove certain hypotheses or certain claims, and also to produce a certain type of medicine to imitate a certain like neurotransmitter or antigen or antibiotic. This type of science or information, the bioinformatics, it is using the technology to solve a lot of problems relating to understanding how our body works, to how certain type of individuals or organisms evolve during our time history. Also, we can use bioinformatics or the database to know the common ancestor. I'll give you an example. If you want to study the sequence of like Arab countries, the DNA of Arab countries, and we want to compare it with the sequence or DNA from people in Italy or Spain. They did that in a certain research, and they ended up of having like a common DNA or common sequence between people in Italy and Arab countries. The result from this study, they concluded that we are coming from the same ancestor. We are sharing the same DNA. By looking or by comparing different sequences between individuals or organisms, we able to create what we call a tree, or we able to relate certain individuals together, like here. In this figure, we can find that all of them are considered to be a carnivore. This is the order, because they are sharing common like morphology or common behavior or common sequence, and all of what we mentioned is related, of course, to the DNA sequence of them. We can say also both organisms here, they are coming from a same family, because they are sharing same DNA sequence that lead to they are having like same feature. We can spot the tail, the shape, the size. Also here, in spite they differ in size, they have like common features. Of course, this is the result of common sequence of DNA between them, and this will lead to they both have the same family or same genus. Using bioinformatics, we can provide the system with database of two different sequence of animals, and then upon analyzing it, the bioinformatics or the system itself, it will create this tree or this phylogeny. and it shows us how organisms are evolved. This is another example of it, the bacteria, the archaea, or the eukaryote. We know that there is a lot of confusion between archaea and bacteria because they have a lot of common between them. Using bioinformatics and giving the bioinformatics the DNA sequence for both of cyanobacteria, for example, and halophile, okay, the bioinformatics ended up to put each one of them in a different category, and this is the result of using the system. So if you want to go back, we will say that bioinformatics mainly, it is a technology. We have to use a computer. We have to use a computer and information. Those information coming mainly from the database, the DNA database. Also, we have to use different sciences like biochemistry and chemistry to understand how molecules are binded together, how the protein are folded together. Also, we use math and statistics because we need like a sequence from not only human but also all of the living organism and population. This will lead to understand a certain type of evolution through the history. Also, using engineering and gene therapy, of course, and in genetic engineering, it's too much important, so we can produce a new type of medicine, or we can manipulate a certain gene or sequence to get active or inactive protein. We can avoid certain type of diseases, or we can discover certain genes that is related to certain disease. Okay. Application of bioinformatics. Why this system is too much, or this software is too much important. It has a lot of benefits. One of them is the manufacturing of medicine, especially point number 2, which is personalized medicine. Since as individual we are unique, and our body will respond to a certain type of medicine in a different way from the others. So that's why they are applying this technology so they can prescribe the medicine according to the individual. So we can have the same disease, but we'll have different type of medicine because our body will treat, or our immunity can function in a different way when we are taking different medicines. Also, bioinformatics is so much important in using gene therapy. We are cutting certain genes or certain sequences, or we are replacing it to cure a certain type of disease. Also, it's too much important in improving the drugs or the medicine. And we know that use of microbes in biology is too much important, since microbes or bacteria are considered to be important in cloning the DNA, and also in having antibacterial or antimicrobial medicine that help us to stay healthy. Here I want to show you a certain tutorial or application of bioinformatics and how it works. Of course, we have of course, we should have the software, and we should have an account, so we'll be able to access the database of DNA sequence and to use the bioinformatics program to result. I'll show one tutorial of how the bioinformatics works.
Here, the first entry is the source code database.
Uh, Proteomic from protein. It is the study of protein, like genomic, study of genes, proteomic, the study of protein. In this software, they are using the database to understand how the translation works, how the protein is folding into a specific shape. He's searching for a specific type of protein. We can find this protein in human and other organism. That's why we have like 200 and above result, and we can see the length of the sequence of this type of protein. He will start to use other like keywords, so he will minimize the number of or the result of his search. As we see that the number of the search or the types of myosin, it is 140. The myosin is a protein, but it has like a different result because we have like active or normal type of myosin, another one mutated myosin. So we all have myosin, but myosin inside my body is different from myosin in other individuals. This program will help us to compare between the different type of protein, and we will spot like a mutation in certain sequence, or we will spot like a difference in the 3D structure of myosin. This science or this software will help us to deal with the manufacturing of protein, or will help us to detect a certain abnormality or certain disease, and then we will work on a certain technique, how to solve this problem, how to integrate like gene therapy and genetic engineering uh, to find a solution for this certain disease. So in this lesson we talked about how to use the bioinformatics, or how bioinformatics are using the DNA database and the genes, analyzing it and link certain abnormalities or certain mutation in the genes with the certain type of disease or the certain inactive proteins.